I don't think I know anyone who actually likes Togekiss, so we're gonna try to change that. I think the main problem with Togekiss is that it's a very poor follow-up to Togetic. So Togepi is like a perfect kind of baby Pokemon. It, it looks like something that's just come out of the egg, and we don't even know what it really is. And then it evolves into Togetic, and it's like incorporated the egg into its body, I guess, but its legs have grown out, its arms have grown out, it has wings now, and its head has actually separated from its body. So like that's some really good steps in the right direction. But Togetic does have very bad stats, and it does kind of look like a middle stage Pokemon. It doesn't look like it's fully realized. And so it makes sense that it got an evolution. But this is not what that evolution should have been, because it now doesn't have a neck anymore. It has lost its arms entirely. It has also lost its legs and just has tiny little feet. The wings have just gotten so big, it's basically turned into a kite. And I think that was kind of on purpose, but that was probably not the right choice there. I want to try to keep some kind of elements of Togekiss, but mostly I'll be working from Togetic. I want to make Togekiss have a neck, have wings that are actually separate from the body, have arms, have legs. And then we'll try to do some other things to just kind of make it look a little bit more interesting. The overall idea that I have, I think I'm fairly settled on. I think that it's a good direction to go in. And so I'm not going to be looking to like do something that's completely different from what I already settled on, but there are many kinds of like details about it that I will want your help with. I probably want Togekiss to go in a more fully mature bird direction, and so I'm using these kind of proportions as a starting point. All right, so the legs are probably the first thing that I'm kind of undecided on how exactly they should be. Very basically, this was my primary concept. So the one thing that I kind of don't quite like about this is that it looks probably too much like still Togetic. I think it probably needs to be a little bit more exaggerated. The feet look more like a fancy shoe, maybe try and mess with proportions and shape. I actually liked the idea of the fancy shoe, and I was thinking that it might have some color. That it might be, one is blue, one is red kind of thing. Might also give it gloves, so to speak, just to make that red and blue kind of thing more obvious. With longer legs, it might also make sense to give it a longer neck. It is a fairy, so it's like it's a bird fairy, so the balance is either, well, I mean, it could be somewhere in the middle, but it could also be leaning more towards bird or leaning more towards fairy, right? Is its boost like Hermes with the feathers on the side? That was actually not something that I explicitly thought of, but obviously that was a subconscious influence there. One of the reasons I like this wing shape is how it would sit, a folded wing. I don't think I'm going to draw it with a folded wing, but I like the idea of that it can actually fold its wings rather than OG Togekiss with its like permanently T-posing. For me, I think this is the ideal setup. Like this is the setup that's working best for me, but this works for me as well. The problem that I have with this one is that it's maybe still too much like Togetic, like it didn't change enough. This feels more like an actual development from Togetic. Or maybe the arms can just be the short arms. The arms, I guess, work short in either one. Actually, maybe the neck works with the long legs too, or with the short legs too. Long neck, short legs also works. What I think doesn't work is short neck, long legs I don't think works. I don't know, maybe they all work. Maybe any combination is fine. What if you tapered the front of the face to be kind of like Latias, but still separate from the neck? This one doesn't quite work for me, but this one's okay. This one feels like a decent development from Togetic. Yeah, I'm actually really happy with this. This works for me. What if it's the short one with the short neck and also the short legs? Like, this also works well for me. Does the long neck work? Actually, I like this a lot. I also want to try the different tails. But okay, I'm gonna go with this. I'm happy with this tail and the setup overall. So I'm gonna go with this one. And so I'm just going to make a slightly cleaner version of that so that we can try some of the detailing on it. We did give it this very pointy face, which conflicts a little bit with some of the things that I had in mind, which is why I'm drawing it on a separate layer. The thing is that the eyes of the entire Togepi family are pretty consistent, so it's hard to do something else without it looking like too different. So yeah, I thought of these triangle-shaped eyebrows that would each be one of the different colors, either red or blue. I was just thinking to add those pretty little tendrils that come out in the middle of the wing like some birds and butterflies have. I do really like this, I think it works really well, but I want to try some different faces. Because I was thinking of the owl, so I wanted to try a more owl-inspired face here. So I don't think this is going to work quite as well, but I wanted to try it anyway. Yeah, so the idea was to lean more into the owl look and give real emphasis to the eyes. I'm not sure about the mouth though, which is why I also wanted to try a very flat face. I was thinking of more of a swallowtail kind of direction. And then if we put some wispy parts on the wing, that would also fit well, I think. I don't know. I don't know about the wings, but the tail like that does work for me. The trouble that I'm having with it is just like how to incorporate this into the wing shape that I've already established. Another option would be to make the head spikes wispier. Like maybe start with that one or maybe even that one and but make the side ones long and wispy, kind of like the tail. For the tail, I like having two things because then we can keep going with that red and blue kind of motif, right? Yeah, okay, let's go with this. I'm very happy with this. I mean, I'm happy with the design, but what if I positioned the head differently so that you can actually see both sides of the face? Expression's a little off, but maybe it does work okay. Like, because I think this angle looks right. Like, this is exactly what I want it to look like. Here I haven't quite gotten that. That's better. Try flipping the head horizontally and see how it looks facing the other way. It's a good idea. That's a trick that I always forget to do. now I think it's time to do proper outlines. I'm just gonna make this a single line, kind of like Ribombi cutie flies, like legs and stuff. It's just gonna be a single line. I'm redesigning Pokemon that I think don't look good, obviously, because if I thought it looked good, I'd have no reason to redesign it. But I'm always interested in, one, what people like about the designs that I don't like, and also, two, what about my redesigns makes them better, worse, just different, whatever it is. I think both work, but yeah, I guess alternating does work better. I'm gonna go with perfectly white wings. I'm gonna leave it at this, but we can try adjusting the colors. I wish Togepi's beige color would have been used more in its evolutions. All the white is always kind of odd to me, but that's not Togekiss's fault. What if I put the beige from Togepi on the back of the wing? Yeah, I don't know about the wing, but the head and tail I actually think works pretty well. This works for me. I'm not sure which set of colors I like better though. Or maybe if I want like something in between. Yeah, maybe, yeah. This looks pretty good, I think. If the wings are gonna stay pure white, I think there's too much going on everywhere else. Maybe get rid of some of the triangle pattern on the lower body to get further away from the whole egg thing. The pattern on the body has been a very consistent like Togepi family thing, so I didn't really want to take them off, but it does make it less busy. Maybe just on the haunches. You know what? I think I prefer this. I mean, maybe this even. I don't want it to be like too much, right? It kind of stays true to the previous forms a little bit more. Like, I like the beige because it brings a little bit more visual variety to the color. I also like all the triangles because it makes more of a, actually both of these things make more of a reference to Togepi. But maybe that's not necessary. Maybe it's better to have fewer because it's not Togepi anymore. I love how the red and blue have turned out Sword and Shield, Cyan, and Magenta. Oh, I didn't even think of that, but yeah. So, that means that it's shading time. Why do you say the E in Togetic like that, but you say Togepi? Because Togetic has sounded weird to me for a long time. I think that's how I used to pronounce it. Togetic, like when I was a kid. But I don't know, it feels wrong to me, it feels off. I know it's inconsistent, but it feels more right to me. Idea, maybe you can shade in a way that hints at downy feathers on the chest. Oh. Maybe. Yeah, I could probably do that. I can probably do that without having to go back and change any of the shading I've already done. Okay. I still think that there's something off about the shading. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I'm happy with the design, and I'm not gonna redo the shading. So I'm gonna go ahead and color in the lines. I think I can consider this done. The drawing itself is not perfect, but I'm very happy with the design itself. I think it strikes that good balance of fairy and bird. So, options for the next redesign poll, we have the Clink family, Diggersby, and Hawlucha. The link to the poll where you can vote on the next redesign is in the description. The poll itself is over in the community tab. If you want to go straight there, that works too. The next redesign stream is going to happen right in the middle of the holidays on December 28th. That's a Saturday, and as usual, it will happen at noon Pacific time. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this redesign of Togekiss, please let me know. Let me know in the comments. And even if you didn't like it, you can let me know in the comments as well. Tell me what you would have done differently. And especially if you're someone that actually likes the original Togekiss, I would especially love to hear what you have to say. You can also let me know that you enjoyed this video by leaving a like. If you're new here, please subscribe. And as usual, I'm Umbreon Libris. I'll see you in the next chapter.